quiet, it's renewable power. The Outback Radiant System is available now at Pacific Solar. Call them today.
This lineup is brought to you by IT&E, Life in Motion.
The stations of KUAM, proud sponsor of the 12th Festival of Pacific Arts, KUAM 2016. What we own, what we have, what we share, united voice of the Pacific.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E, Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, proud sponsor of FestPac 2016. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. Pacific Solar, and King's Restaurant.
Coming up, we give you a closer look at the revised policy for medicinal marijuana on Guam.
Big news out of the Philippines and the country's presidential election.
And public health is stepping up efforts to prepare Guam for FestPac. Hapaday and good evening, everybody. We told you about this matter yesterday. Governor Eddie Calvo signed off on the rules and regulations for medicinal marijuana.
And as of today, they are now in the hands of the Guam legislature. Ken Quintanilla reports on several changes to the original proposal.
It's been approved by the Attorney General of Guam and the Department of Public Health, and now Governor Eddie Calvo has signed off on the proposed rules and regulations for medicinal marijuana, officially known as the Joaquin Casey Concepcion II Compassionate Cannabis Use Act of 2013.
We got to do it right. From the standpoint of our administration, it's looking at the regulatory aspect, and whether it's in public health, rev and tax, or law enforcement, do we make sure we do this the right way.
Today, those rules were officially transmitted to the Guam legislature. This starts the 90-day period for the legislature to approve, disapprove, or amend the proposed rules. If no action is taken, it automatically lapses into effect. The 121-page document sets the rules for fees, applications, and requirements of designated caregivers, dispensaries, dispensary agents, cultivation sites, and cultivation site agents. Some of the notable changes from the draft rules presented a year ago to the latest version is the fees. The new dispensary registration certificate application fee is now set at $5,000 compared to the new registration fee of $35,000 proposed a year ago. The cultivation site registration certificate application fee is also down to $5,000, as is the permit application to operate a dispensary or cultivation site. A permit inspection fee, meanwhile, is set at $15,000. Registry identification cards for qualifying patients is now at $15 compared to the $150 proposal made last year. Meanwhile, Public Health Director James Gillen says, whereas the old rules limited the number of producers and dispensaries, this latest version leaves it wide open instead. He adds with the new rules, there is no provision for laboratory services. He says this would have allowed public health to take samples of what's being dispensed and determine if it is equivalent to whatever dose the Medicinal Marijuana Board is allowing. As for Senator Tina Muñoz Barnes, she says the thorough review begins again. As the original author of the legislative submitted referendum, Barnes says it's been a long time coming, as medicinal cannabis is a major shift in policy for Guam. One, she says, quote, requires our utmost attention to every detail to ensure the safety of our patients and the community as a whole. As they reach the home stretch, Barnes says, quote, we are certainly making an important step forward in putting the needs of our sick and most vulnerable family members first, end quote. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintanilla.
You can read the revised draft rules and regulations right now on KUAM.com.
The official results are not in yet, but the preliminary tally shows that the longtime mayor of Davao City in the southern Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, will be the country's next president. Nestor Lacanto reports.
The unofficial results showed Duterte with a huge lead over number 2 vote-getter Manuel Mar Rojas, and the absentee voting results for Guam and Micronesia tracked virtually the same way. Philippine Consul General for Guam, Marciano de Borja, says Duterte may have won because of a hardline stance on crime that captured the fancy of a majority of Filipinos. This despite widespread criticism of his often crude remarks, such as profanity-laced vows to kill thousands of criminals and offensive jokes about rape and adultery.
Sometimes he cannot control what he says, in public. And of course, these are sometimes, could be negative or really downright outrageous, something like that. And he's very vocal about killing criminals. But it's calling attention really to the rampant criminality that a lot of people experience.
In contrast, the vice presidential race remains tight, with Congressional Representative Lenny Robredo neck and neck with Senator Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., the son of the late Philippine dictator.
Initially, it was Marcos who was leading. In fact, there was a time that he was leading by almost 1 million votes. But slowly but surely, when all the votes are received, and then there's a sudden rise of support for Robredo, and now she's leading by about 160,000 votes.
Deborah says the final official tally might not be known for another day or two. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
The head of the Concerned Catholics of Guam organization is reacting to a statement made by a representative from the Archdiocese to media on Monday. Father Edivado called a recent print ad paid by the organization a disgraceful attack on Archbishop Anthony Aparon. Although the advertisement did not specify the accused, it listed the locations and years consistent with the Archbishop when he was a priest. President of the CCOG, Greg Perez.
We wonder, how many young boys and maybe even girls now that are altar servers that are being subjected to that kind of mistreatment and abuse, and it's really sad. And again, it has to stop. How can seeking the truth be a malicious attack? So I disagree with his comments.
The ad inquired those who were molested over 40 years ago to speak up. According to the organization, there's been more than a single victim that has come forward.
A movement to get the Guam legislature to pass a bill to lift the statutes of limitation for past child sex abuse cases is gaining momentum. A petition drive and press conference was held Tuesday morning for Silent No More. Heading the movement is concerned resident and teacher Joe Santos. According to Santos, past law lifted the statutes of limitation for a 2-year window. That law since expired.
I'd like the law that gets passed out of this petition to be one that is more favorable to the victims as opposed to one that shields the perpetrators.
Santos hopes to circulate the petition and get as many as 100,000 Guamanians to sign off. Petitions are available at the Sinajana, Jotnia, and Dededo mayor's office.
In other island news headlines, the man accused of getting a bit too rowdy on his plane ride to Guam has posted $100,000 cash bail. Kwan Woo Sung appeared in district court Monday, where he pleaded not guilty to interference with flight crew members and attendants. Last month, he allegedly had too much to drink and needed to be restrained by 5 passengers for the duration of the flight. While he's been released to a third-party custodian, a previous letter to Chief Judge Francis Tidienko Gatewood says a mental health condition could be to blame for Sung's behavior. The jury trial is set for July.
The University of Guam has turned over their findings from an investigation into one of their own. Last year, longtime psychology professor Dr. Michael Ellert was indicted for allegedly sexually assaulting 2 students at an off-campus event. In addition to being placed on administrative leave, the school conducted an investigation. Those findings were turned over to the AG's office on Tuesday. Meanwhile, defense still has a motion to dismiss the misdemeanor charges. That motion will be heard on June 9th.
The woman at the center of the Blue House Lounge sex trafficking case has died. Song Ja Cha was convicted several years ago on federal charges for her role in the conspiracy to lure young girls from Chuk to work as prostitutes in her Upper Tumon bar. Department of Corrections Deputy Director Carla Borja did confirm she was transported from prison to GMH on Monday after Cha complained that she was not feeling well. According to a report from the hospital, Cha died as a result of natural causes. The infamous Blue House Lounge case exposed the problem of human sex trafficking on Guam and also saw the conviction of 2 police officers. Her conviction was on appeal with the 9th Circuit.
It is time to break away, but still to come. VA employees finally get paid, but that's not the end of the story. We'll have more when we return.
Exit to the world at home from everywhere you are. Get the KUAM News app for the latest in local news, videos, sports, streaming Isla 63 AM, weather, and more. Available for free now at the iTunes App Store or Google Play.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens.
It's a beautiful day.
We rely on the people we trust,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's a beautiful,
who we can always count on,
beautiful day.
and to the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need
It's a beautiful day.
wherever you are. Calvo's Select Care, healthcare that's always there for you.
Traveling waves. Tsunamis are caused mostly by earthquakes and can happen within minutes and without warning. Tsunamis can be small or as tall as a coconut tree. Earthquakes and tsunamis can be quite scary, but the better prepared you are, the safer you'll be. In case of an earthquake, drop, cover, and hold on. After the shaking stops, quickly get to higher ground because a tsunami may be coming. Remember, the beach is a danger zone during tsunamis. Get away from the beach, go inland, or get to higher ground. Especially keep in mind to follow the tsunami evacuation route signs to a safe assembly area nearest you. Thanks, McKenna. Thanks, Janessa. The next step to being prepared is to meet with your family and make a family disaster plan. For more information, visit ghs.guam.gov.
Reduce your energy costs with GPA's Energy Sense program. Energy Sense provides cash rebates with the purchase of qualified energy-efficient air conditioners, washers, and dryers that help reduce your energy usage. Contact GPA today at 647-5787, 8 or 9 to learn more about Energy Sense and other ways to help reduce your monthly energy usage and save money by using energy more efficiently. For more Energy Sense saving ideas, visit GuamPowerAuthority.com or like us on Facebook. Energy Sense makes good sense.
Spring into summer savings with Triple J Auto Group. Hot deals and up to $1,000 cash back just in time for summer spending. Get unbelievable deals in all 2015 and 2016 models. Hondas, Acuras, Fords, Mazdas, Lincolns, Volvos, Kias, and used cars. New cars as low as $98 per paycheck and used cars as low as $85 per paycheck. Now's the time to buy during Triple J's Spring into Summer sales event. Get pre-approved instantly at carsguam.com. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. See dealer for details. Triple J Auto Group. Customers first.
Follow KUAM News on Twitter or become a fan on Facebook to get all your daily headlines from Guam's News Network.
Welcome back to Primetime, everyone. How is our island preparing for the possibility of disease outbreak during FestPac? And what steps might you take to protect yourself?
Isabaza has more.
The threat of mosquito-borne diseases on Guam is very real.
With tens of thousands of people scheduled to come to Guam for FestPac this May, there is a concern that someone who may be asymptomatic may bring a vector-borne disease here to Guam. In fact, Guam gets at least one of these cases every year.
So the decision to spray was a good decision.
Environmental Public Health Administrator Rosanna Ribago said as a precautionary measure, the Division of Environmental Health is spraying major FestPac sites with pesticides, including the 8 schools used as housing venues, and 3 main sites, including the Chamorro Village, Sagambasita, and Farmers Co-op in Dedito. Environmental Public Health Officer Michelle Lastimosa.
They've chosen chemicals that are the least toxic to the population that's in those areas.
And in low doses, they're both safe and effective. Immunization Office Program Manager Annette Uggan said participating FestPac countries have already reported both Zika and dengue cases.
Once it's been introduced into a country or an island, those vector-borne illnesses will not go away because it's again in the mosquito population.
And it's not just FESPAC countries that are of concern.
We're worried about China, Korea. There's an ongoing outbreak in China. Then there's those cases that are not reported and we don't know.
Chikungunya and foodborne illnesses are also concerns. Education and Outreach Coordinator Bertha Tyhurin said DPHSS is monitoring delegate health and will have a sick hall on site.
We have a team of nurses that will be stationed down at Paseo. There's a room that's dedicated for our nurses, and they will be there during FESPAC activities.
Meanwhile, residents are encouraged to do their part by removing stagnant water from their homes, using insect repellent, and wearing long-sleeved clothing. Pregnant women are also eligible for free mosquito nets.
We are also looking at, through the assistance of CDC, for the possibility of spraying pregnant women households as a precautionary measure. But again, it's 100% voluntary.
For more information, you can call 735-7221. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Isa Baza.
More than a handful of employees at the Guam Office of Veterans Affairs have been paid, but only partially. As we first reported, VA Administrator Martin Manglotnia says at least 7 of his employees have not been getting paid for months, forcing him to pay them out of his own pocket. He says last Friday, some of these employees were only paid for 64 hours, despite many of them starting several months ago. Manglotnia tells KUAM he is upset because many of these employees have families they have to provide for. Last week, the governor's office said they were not aware these individuals were getting paid. Adaloop said paperwork was still being processed in order to get these individuals their money. Manglotnia says he will be meeting with the governor Thursday morning. Meanwhile, that night, Senator Tom Addo will be holding an oversight hearing to address staffing issues. The hearing starts 6 p.m. Thursday at the Guam legislature.
The Port Authority is looking at its salary structure and compensation for employees in comparison to other ports nationwide. GM Joanne Brown says the PUC asked the port to look into the matter, telling KUAM News that it does not necessarily mean everyone's pay will increase.
In some cases, again, it depends on the position and the skill set that's required for it, and that's why we have a measurement that we're able to use in terms of ports nationwide. They equate also, even though they're looking at the 2008 salary, they're also looking in comparison to 2014. At 2014, our port employees are only at the 25th percentile. So in comparison to the national average, I mean, our people and the compensation is nowhere near what a lot of other port employees nationwide are receiving in terms of compensation.
Brown says way back in 2010, the port was put on its own pay structure. And as part of the review, the agency will determine the financial impact and to ensure if they have the revenues to cover any increase in personnel.
How healthy are you? That was a question asked to 10% of University of Guam students in a study aimed at assessing everything from smoking, nutrition, and alcohol to obesity and physical activity. The study was conducted by UOG's Health Science Research and Reporting class. Senior Audrey Beneventi discussed the findings at a health fair, which was held this afternoon at UOG.
Females tended to drink more than males, which is different because on Guam and the US, males drink more than females. There was a lot more sedentary individuals, people who didn't participate in any physical activity versus those who did.
The study also found that male students smoked twice as much as females. However, the majority of those surveyed were non-drinkers, non-smokers, and non-betel nut users. Furthermore, it found an association between high stress levels and poor sleep quality, with females more likely to report high stress levels than males.
We'll be back right after this. Sports coming up.
There's a sense of excitement in the air as we witness history repeat itself right before our eyes. Chamorros are gathering once again as their ancestors did 500 years ago to revive our voyaging canoe practices that fascinated early European voyagers. The canoes, known as flying proas for their swift and sleek movements, showcased impressive engineering and agility of the early Chamorros. As the exclusive telecom provider of FESPAC, GTA is carrying on the tradition of providing the most advanced technology and engineering and telecommunications to our island community. Although a lot has changed since our ancestors navigated these waters 500 years ago, our commitment to our familia, our island, and our culture remains steadfast and ever-present. GTA, connecting voices of the Pacific.
Now,
time, Guam. The Drive and Discovery event is going on now at Cars Plus and My Team. Get the award-winning 2016 Hyundai Accent starting at just $11,995. That's right, $11,995. Or indulge in the completely redesigned 2017 Hyundai Elantra starting at $16,995. For fast credit approval, visit us online at carsplusguam.com. With quick and easy financing available, the time to buy is now. Come experience the Drive and Discovery event today at Cars Plus Hyundai, the official vehicle sponsor of FestPack. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Oh my, what is that smell?
Nana, you gotta see this.
La Hiwi Calacas.
My friend who works at Guam Waterworks keeps talking to me about sewage problems and fog.
Fog?
Fats, oil, and grease. He also explained to me how bad it is for our sewage system. It costs us Guam residents hundreds of thousands of dollars when the sewage gets backed up.
How did the grease get like that?
That's why, Nana. You can't keep pouring oil down the drain with hot water. This is what happens when you keep doing that.
Day, that's what I told your mother and your aunties. Okay, my boy, I won't pour the oil down the drain anymore. So what can we do?
My friend says we gotta put it in containers and we can take it to the Harmon transfer station.
Okay, my boy, let's go. What are we waiting for? Let's go to the conversation.
Don't clog with fog. Paid for by Guam Waterworks Authority.
Sometimes I don't want to be here.
When it can all feel so overwhelming.
And I can't be the best of me. All I want to do is run away. Or do something.
Or give up.
But I have a choice. To reach out.
To believe in myself.
To clear my head and do what's best for my mental health.
And my mental health.
And my mental health.
When you reserve a party at Chuck E. Cheese's, it's guaranteed to be a blast! Blast off! And now, birthdays are more of a blast than ever! Because for a limited time, tickets in the Ticket Blaster are worth double! Kid can be a kid.
This is how Precision listens. Bose microphones that hear engine noise, then counter it with the sound-canceling frequency, which helps make the cabin so quiet, you don't miss a thing.
Night, Dad.
Good night, kiddo. See you in the morning. It's called Active Noise Cancellation, and it's available in the new, meticulously crafted 2016 Sierra from GMC. This is the precision of professional grade.
Visit AutoSpot GMC today for great offers. We are your GMC dealer of Guam.
Happy day, Guam. Chris Barnett with sports. As always, the biggest show ever starts right now, so let's get right to it. PXC 54, July 8th. Frank the Crank moving up to 170 pounds. What? Welterweight title fight? What? PXC 54 will feature many lights-out fights, but what may be the biggest one on the card? A 170-pound title fight pitting the welterweight champion Sebastian Kadestam against the Marianas' Frank the Crank Camacho. That's right, Camacho will make a return to the 170-pound division to face Kadestam, who's coming off an 11-second knockout win over Finland's Glenn Sparv. Now, Camacho admits he loves to stand and bang, but it may be time to pull off a little ground and pound on the champ.
He throws a lot of big shots, which kind of made him who he is, So I'm just kind of eager to see how he would deal with an opponent like me. And we've never seen him on his back. So, that might be a good game plan for me to try to exploit.
Camacho is taking his 18-3 mixed martial arts record into PXC 54 on July 8th. The Crank is coming off 3 straight wins, 2 by way of TKO, and a knockout win over Japan's Kengo Ura. And although going in, he thinks it may be wise to take Kadestam down, he admits he gets magodai when opponents want to stand with him.
I just can't wait to see how he's going to deal with a boxer. He's dealt with MMA strikers. He's done with a guy trying to take him down, shooting kind of from the outside. But I'm going to get in there and get in his face.
Kadestam is undefeated in the PXC, but his 8-2 record means he has had fewer fights than Camacho, but 6 of his 8 wins have come by way of knockout. Kadistam looms large in the welterweight division, and Camacho is moving into his territory, up a whole weight class. But the Crank says he thinks the 170-pound division is a great place for him to settle down.
I don't have to worry about the weight cut, you know, like, man, the weight cut always kills me. You know, you see the last time when I tried to make weight, I didn't even make weight for my last fight, you know, it was rough. So I'm going to come out more energetic. I may be a little smaller than Kadistam, but, you know, he's going to have to deal with a faster, stronger Frank.
PXC 54 goes down July 8th right here on Guam with some big bouts in the works, so keep it here on KUAM Sports for more. Guam's top junior golfers have been invited by 2 prestigious Asian Junior Golf Championship tournaments to be held in China and Taiwan in August. Now, the island's top juniors have remarkably improved their golf game at a level to compete at major international golf tournaments and play amongst the best juniors in the world. In July, for example, they'll be competing against the world's best juniors at the IMG Junior World Championship in San Diego, as reported previously on KUAM Sports. You're welcome. As well as the British Junior Open in Scotland. The boys' gross scores from the Blue Tees, Brent Solis is 76, Seth Abrahamson with an 80. The girls' gross scores from the White Tees, Canna Bangs with a 91 and Kalina Sunga 98. The 4 golfers are set to represent Guam, at the HSBC China Junior Open and the APGC 2016 in Taiwan in August for 2 Guam teams at 2 separate Asian tournaments. Wow, way to go, kids. The 2016 HSBC China Junior Golf Open will be held in Sanya, China in August, and the APGC Junior Championship will be held from August 23rd to 25th, 2016 in Taiwan at the Sunrise Golf and Country Club. The United States, Casey Cummings defeated Japan's Kokomi Koyama in round 1 match of the Chuck E. Cheese's ITF Junior Championship girls main draw at the Rick Nanetti Tennis Center in Aganya. Cummings won 6-1, 3-6, 6-2. Japan's Soma Yokoyama earned the 6-2, 6-2 win over Guam's Derek Okuhama during the boys' main draw. Now, Yokoyama had his serves working for him, giving Okuhama a hard time returning the ball over the net. In the girls' main draw, number 5, Charmaine Shi Yi Se was the first seed in the tournament to fall out of title contention, losing 6-2, 6-2 to Japan's Saki Oyama, who earned her spot in the main draw by winning her qualifying round match in the Chuck E. Cheese ITF Junior Championships. The Wings posing with the U10 Championship trophy of the Triple J Auto Group Robbie Weber Youth Soccer League in an awards ceremony following the team's victory over the Guam Shipyard Wolverines in the title match of the U10 division. Also recognized during the awards ceremony, Guam Shipyard Wolverines as runners-up and the Southern Cobras. Now, the Cobras finished in 3rd place after defeating the ASC Trust Islanders in the consolation match. And the Wings also taking the U12 championship of the Robbie Weber League after they beat the WM Engineering Strikers in the title match of the U12 division. Also recognized during the awards ceremony were the WM Engineering Strikers. Of course, the Strikers, runners-up, and the ASC Trust Islanders, Betney. The Islanders finished in 3rd place after defeating the Guam Shipyard Wolverines. All right, hey, I told you it was the biggest show ever. Remember, anything sports, hit up our sports director, Dave Delgado, on the EM show at KUAM.com. That show without the W, but I hope you get that win. My name is Chris Barnett. Thanks for watching, and you keep on shining, Guam. Adios!
Take a look around you, everything it has a beat. From the people all around to the walls of concrete. There's a rhythm, there's a flow, there's a stop, there's a go. If you never paid attention, then maybe you didn't know. Everything is moving to a relative time. You can always count it out. There's a reason and a rhyme. You will make me feel alive like the music so sweet. So get up your seat, just feel the beat. Just feel the beat, yeah. Just feel the beat. Hey.
I was lucky and one got me. I kissed her, she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head?
Welcome to the most social car we've ever designed. The all-new Nissan Murano. Nissan, innovation that excites.
Get ready for the most unforgettable music event of the year. The Guam Visitors Bureau is proud to once again bring you the low-tape duty-free Guam Live International Music Festival at the Governor Joseph Flores Memorial Park on Sunday, May 29th. Guam Live 2016 will feature some of the world's hottest musical acts, including Collie Buds,
Come around.
Common Kings,
But you kinda feels like my sickness.
Fiji, and Manao Company. With performances by Pia Mia, Jay Park, Chloe Kai, Micah G, and The John Dank Show. Get your tickets now at 76 Circle K locations, MWR, Anderson ITT, Guam Auto Spot, and online at guam-live.com. The Lotte Duty-Free Guam Live International Music Festival is presented by United Airlines, Uzatani Guam Resort, Docomo Pacific, 76 Circle K, Guam Auto Spot, PIC, the stations of KUAM and Heineken. Brought to you by... With special thanks to... This is a GVB signature event.
Who doesn't love every bit of a Big Mac? A Big Mac, fries, and a Coke, only $6.99. Get one for a limited time.
Tourism. It's Guam's #1 industry. And if you look around, you'll see how it's working for all of us. The money we make from tourism goes into projects that keep our island beautiful. From all our major roadways to our village streets, from our historic parks to our pools and beaches.
Tourism works.
Tourism works.
Tourism works. Tourism works for me.
Brought to you by GVB. Sidzulus Maasi for making Guam the best place to live, work, and visit.
Did you know that when you purchase products that are made in Guam, you support our local businesses and entrepreneurs?
You allow creative individuals to pursue their dreams. You encourage people to imagine, and you inspire others.
Like me. And me.
People like me.
And me.
And me.
So the next time you're in the market for something, look for products made in Guam. Let's support our local visionaries and allow them to inspire us and generations to come.
Welcome to
No envelopes?
No deposit slips?
Welcome to
Wow.
That's it?
That's really easy.
Welcome to the new Bank of Hawaii Easy Deposit ATMs for personal and business accounts. Just insert your checks or cash. No deposit slips or envelopes. Confirm your deposit and get a receipt with your checks printed right on it. Welcome to the next generation of
Wow.
Cool.
Easy.
Welcome to tomorrow. Bank of Hawaii.
Now, we've been on the air for about 25 minutes now, but it is not an official KUAM broadcast until we say happy birthday to some extra special Guamanians. And tonight, we say happy birthday from KUAM and the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club to Jessica Kitsutus and Nicholas. Happy birthday blessings from your familia.
Happy birthday going out to Ariana Jean Santos.
There are many David Taitanos right here on the island, but David C. Taitano. So there is at least one with a birthday. David, we hope you had a lovely day.
And happy birthday wishes to a very special lady, Chrissy.
And of course, we do want to mention everybody who has belated birthdays. So happy belated birthday wishes go out to this lovely miss. This is Hannah Gogui.
And if you'd like to wish somebody a happy birthday and be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club, just head on over to our website.
Stay tuned. More coming up.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
And welcome to the Health, Home, and Lifestyle edition of KUAM News Extra. I'm Isa Baza, so glad you could join us. Coming up in tonight's show, we tell you about the National Immunization Survey. Up next, we give you more on the Body Box, a new device to diagnose lung disease at the Guam Regional Medical City. But first, here's this week's Health Check Report with Joan Aguncharfris.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
The Department of Public Health and Social Services, in partnership with the Tobacco Control Action Team of the Guam Non-Communicable Disease Consortium, is proud to announce the inaugural Breath of Life Tobacco Control Awards. This program has been developed to recognize individuals and organizations locally that are responsible for driving tobacco control progress and success on island. 5 winners will be awarded for their outstanding work and contributions in tobacco control. Examples of progress and success include, but are not limited to, protecting community from secondhand smoke, implementing education and prevention policies or activities, success in helping tobacco users quit, warning of the dangers of tobacco use and secondhand smoke, enforcing bans on advertising, promotion, and sponsorship, and policy or advocacy work that further protects the community from the dangers of tobacco. Winners will be selected for the following categories: the Youth Award, which is an individual up to 17 years old; the Youth Group Award, which involves school, organization, team, or youth groups; Adult Award; Community Organization Award, which include private public organizations, government agencies, or faith-based groups; and the Legacy Award. The nominees' contributions or achievements must be for activities conducted in Guam. Ongoing activities are acceptable. Nominees do not have to be a member of the NCD consortium. Anyone may submit a nomination. Completed and signed nomination forms must be submitted by 4 p.m. on Wednesday, June 15th of this year. Completed nominations should be submitted via email to Elizabeth Guerrero. The email is elizabeth.guerrero@dphss.guam.gov. Again, the deadline for submission is 4 p.m. on Wednesday, June 15th. If you have any questions regarding the award program rules, you're encouraged to call Elizabeth Guerrero at 735-7303. With this week's Health Check Report, I'm Jonah Gancharfis.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Well, stay tuned. We'll have more on the National Immunization Survey after the break.
This program is brought to you by GTA, your island, your network.
There's a sense of excitement in the air as we witness history repeat itself right before our eyes. Chamorros are gathering once again, as their ancestors did 500 years ago, to revive our voyaging canoe practices that fascinated early European voyagers. The canoes, known as flying proas for their swift and sleek movements, showcased impressive engineering and agility of the early Chamorros. As the exclusive telecom provider of FestPac, GTA is carrying on the tradition of providing the most advanced technology and engineering and telecommunications to our island community. Although a lot has changed since our ancestors navigated these waters 500 years ago, our commitment to our familia, our island, and our culture remains steadfast and ever present. GTA, connecting voices of the Pacific.
Meet Terry and Hannah. They are smart shoppers. They take the time to research large purchases so they get the best deal for their money, which is good because they are in the market for their first house. So far, they've done everything right. They met with a qualified real estate agent who helped them find their dream home. They have loan proposals from 3 lenders to compare, and they have decided to protect the ownership of their home with an owner's title insurance policy from Title Guarantee of Guam. Terry and Hannah know that buying a home is the largest purchase they will make in their lifetime. Getting title insurance will not only protect their ownership of the land, but will also protect their children's ownership rights as well, for as long as they own the land. Title Guarantee of Guam has been helping folks like Terry and Hannah for over 50 years. We are the first and oldest title and escrow company on Guam. No one understands property title better than us. Let us help you with this most important investment.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
King's Guam Futures 2016, presented by Hilton Guam Resort and Spa and Docomo Pacific, bring the ITF Pro Circuit to Guam. The King's Guam Futures will be swinging into action May 21st through the 29th. The Guam National Tennis Federation will host world-ranked tennis professionals who will be coming to Guam from all over the world. Netters will compete for prize money and ATP points to improve their position among the world's best. Qualifying matches will be played May 21st and 22nd, with the main draw to begin May 23rd. Special thanks to our platinum sponsors: Matson Navigation, Chuck E. Cheese's, Morico Equipment, and Dimension Systems.
Hafne, and welcome back to Health, Home, and Lifestyle. I'm here at the Guam Immunization Office with Program Manager Annette Uggan. We're here to talk about the National Immunization Survey. But for those who haven't heard yet, what is this national survey?
Well, the National Immunization Survey is a nationwide coverage assessment done by the U.S. CDC. It actually started in 1994 as a result of a measles outbreak in the mainland. And then through the years, states and territories have been participating in it. And in 2013, Guam was the first U.S.-affiliated Pacific Island jurisdiction to pilot it. And so we are now entering into our third year in conducting this annual survey. And it's to look at the coverage rates for children 19 to 35 months of age, and then we also look at teens 13 to 17 years of age, just to see how are we doing with our immunization efforts on Guam, to see which vaccines are we reaching, the targets, are we making progress, and then just to see how our different health efforts on Guam, because we do ask also, where do you receive your immunizations from, private or public sector, outreaches, and so that this helps CDC with guiding policy as well as for any grant funding opportunities that the island can receive.
Okay, so I know this survey already began in April. How long is it expected to continue?
Well, the survey is kind of a two-part situation in that the first part, normally for about 2 months, we have the contractors that from NORC at the University of Chicago are calling from off island. So if you do see a long distance call number, that they are the contractors that are awarded by CDC to conduct this survey, and they call and they ask for eligible households. It's a random telephone survey, and so they actually have to screen, do you have anyone that is eligible, be it a child that's 19 to 35 months of age or a teen that's 13 to 7 years of age. If they do, then they ask permission to continue with the survey. It takes about 20 minutes, and they're going to ask basic demographic information, the child's name and age. It's strictly confidential. Then they're going to ask a series of questions of where you receive vaccines at, be it at the private or public setting, and then they'll go through the different questions of the different vaccines for the age appropriate series. So like for the younger child, they'll be asking questions more for like maybe DTaP, and then Hib or hepatitis B. Then there's some vaccines that the teens also receive, similar Hep B, the MMR. Then they'll ask HPV vaccine, or if you receive the tetanus diphtheria booster shot. And so those questions will be asked, and dates and locations. And then they'll ask permission to contact your provider who administers the vaccines to your child, because they want to cross-reference the records. Sometimes different records have more information, so they want to get a complete picture of this child from both the personal record and the private provider or public provider's records. And then they consolidate that, and so that they can determine what is the coverage rate for each vaccine type, and then also as a recommended series for that child or that teen. And so when they do send out a report, everything is de-identified. There's no concern about parents, was my child's information going to be, be able to be identified? No, they de-identify, and they just do a summary or aggregate report based on vaccine name, the dose, and then the series, and as well as a percentage of coverage. And so everything is strictly kept confidential. It's a U.S. CDC approved study. We're bound by confidentiality in the U.S. Privacy Act. And so that's something that will take maybe 2 months to get the appropriate sampling for calls. Then they have to go and reach out to the providers now and ask them for those records, which will take a few months. Then there's data analysis and data cleaning. And so normally the results don't come out until the following year, usually about July or August. So right now we started for 2016 NAS and NAS teen. We probably will not get the results published by CDC until July or August of 2017.
Okay, so I know they've definitely been active in the community. I've heard some of my friends have received phone calls from off island.
Yes.
And will they actually be asking to speak to the children?
No, they have to actually ask first, is there anyone 17 or older? They need an adult. And then from there, they'll ask a parent or guardian of a child who's in this age group. So if there's no one in that age group in that household, then they'll just thank you, and then they'll just mark them off the list, because they're only looking for households that have those two age groups, because those are the ones that we look for, because usually by age 2, a child should be up to date with recommended vaccines. The next shots are at 4 to 6 years of age, right before they go into school. Then we're looking at the teenagers, because they're around that time, there are some vaccines that are only recommended for preteens or adolescents. And so we want to make sure, have they gotten their booster shots? Are they getting those vaccines that are only appropriate for teens? And so they will not speak to any minor. They will only speak to parents or guardians. And then again, if you do not want to be part of the call, they have their policy or procedure of 3 attempts. So at the first attempt, and you call back, or they return your call and say, would you like to participate, and you refuse, then they will have them removed from the list, so that individuals are not bothered again to participate in this survey. But we do ask for participation. It's a very important survey. It helps guides us. It gives us a current population-based coverage rate that we can use to say, wow, this vaccine we're doing pretty well. This other vaccine for this age group, we're below the target goal, and we need to maybe focus our efforts more on that. Especially the big push for HPV in recent years. It prevents cancer. That's something that can help guide us, saying, wow, our HPV rates are low. Is it, we're looking at males versus females, and then we look at a total. The total aggregate. And so we kind of need to see, where do we need to focus our efforts, be it for childhood immunizations or adolescent immunizations.
Okay, so I know you had mentioned that this survey has been going on here in Guam since 2013.
Yes.
So what are the results that you've seen so far? How has this survey helped you guys here in Guam since you participated?
Well, we did see in 2013, we got the results in 2014. There are some individual vaccine antigens that we actually are doing pretty well. We're right up there with the national average. There are a few vaccines that we actually are slightly above. Then there are other vaccines like the HPV. We just recently introduced that as a phased-in approach. We started with females only in the teenage group, and then a few years later we added in the male adolescents. And so those rates we were expecting to be low, and it really was.
So if people want to learn more, find out any more information, is there a number here that they can call?
Yes, they can call our program at 735-7143. They can also go onto the US CDC website. They do have a page there specifically for the National Immunization Survey, and it's the www.cdc.gov/vaccines, and then they can just look for a National Immunization Survey, and it can give them more details. You can see all the different coverage rates across the nation, as well as for the territories that are participating.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. Again, make sure you participate, take the phone call. It's not a scam. And stay tuned, we'll have more health, home, and lifestyle after the break.
Most fast food places use formulas to create their combos, but all that math doesn't always equal something tasty. At my place, you can get a mouth-watering sourdough bacon ranch combo. A full-size beef patty, bacon, and creamy ranch sauce on toasted sourdough bread, plus hot and salty fries and a drink for just $4.99. Because flavor always beats formulas. Sourdough bacon ranch combo, just $4.99 for a limited time. Combo's done my way.
Smiling is a natural response to joy, happiness, and excitement. Your smile reveals a lot about who you are. A healthy, beautiful smile can brighten your appearance and be an invitation to conversation and friendship. It is often one of the first things people notice about you. Now, thanks to the advancements in dentistry, you can have the smile you have always wanted, giving you an improved smile that looks and feels great.
My silver fillings that I have, they're getting older in my mouth and I need to replace them. So I've started to do that and I've replaced them with the white fillings and I've had really great success with that. It looks good, they feel natural, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the bleaching. I want a white look all around my mouth.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Hi there, and welcome back to Health, Home, and Lifestyle. I'm here with Guam Regional Medical City Respiratory Manager Anthony Cruz and Respiratory Therapist Chauncey Bailey. And we're here to talk about the Body Box. So for those in the community who haven't heard yet, what exactly is this device?
The Body Box is the easy word for the technical term plethysmography. Okay, and what the box does, you put the patient inside the box. All right, they sit in a chair, we have a mouthpiece, and we test their lung volumes. All right, we test their total lung capacity. We help to, by doing various tests in this box, to help diagnose their pulmonary disease, or what extent their pulmonary disease is.
So I understand this is the only box on island, and so there is a partnership between GRMC and other hospitals such as GMH and Naval Hospital.
That's correct. We're on a joint effort with GMH and Naval because they don't have the Body Box. So I've brought them on staff to be a part of it. So this is a joint effort for all three hospitals to provide the island of Guam, the necessary tools to be diagnosed with it. It also helps the pulmonary specialists help them diagnose the patient better.
Okay, and so you mentioned that this particular device looks at pulmonary diseases such as asthma, COPD. So are these types of diseases very common here on island?
Well, yes, determining, many of the island people smoke. Okay, and smoking is a big cause of pulmonary disease, and this helps us diagnose those issues.
Okay, and so I actually visited you over at URMC the other day, and I got a chance to get inside this box, sit inside, and see what the patient actually goes through. So for those who are kind of claustrophobic, it is a small space, but there's a tube going in where you breathe in pure oxygen. So they have to go through a series of tests. How does it work?
Yes, there's several tests that we do called gas diffusion, total lung capacity, different technical terms. And we do these tests with the patient. Each test we do 3 or 4 times with the patient so we can get the best test results for the patient. And I have an awe moment when the patients first see the box because they get like, oh my God, what are you going to do to me? And I have to assure them that the ceiling isn't going to drop out. No sharks are going to come up through the bottom because it's scary. Like you said, it's claustrophobic. So they are more relieved at that point, and it's fun to do with each patient.
Okay, and so also for those patients who are very sickly, maybe can't get up and walk, there is a way for them to also use this device.
Yes, the Body Box has 2 doors. One is for a wheelchair, and we have a special wheelchair that they can get into to put them up in the box and make them comfortable. They're safe at all times. I'm watching every movement and everything that happens with the patient.
Okay, and so this just started operations this week.
Yes, full operation technically last week. We are in full operation every day, Monday through Friday now, and we can only see 4 patients a day because each test takes anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half, depending on the patient. And then not only that, we're adding to that, we're going to be doing what we call the 6-minute walk and desaturation testing. And what that's for is to help distinguish whether or not the patient needs oxygen at home.
Okay, and speaking of this partnership between the different hospitals here on island, there are people trained at each hospital to operate the device, or
actually all 3 hospitals has the same equipment. We just added to that, and we bought the body box, which the other 2 hospitals didn't. So all 3 hospitals are doing the same testing. We just added the body box, which adds about 3 or 4 more testings to go with the regular pulmonary function to give the doctor more tools to diagnose the patient with.
Okay, and so the patients have to breathe out. The tests are breathing out and
right.
breathing in.
It's different, a series of breathing exercises that I do with the patients. Take a deep breath in and blow it out, and they're like, you know, and some people don't have it at the extent of that, whatever their disease is, you know, they don't have the ability to blow out or to breathe in. And that's where the doctor diagnoses the issues that the patient may have. And as Anthony was saying about the cooperation with the other hospitals, the 3 of us will be working together because they want to learn the body box, and the 3 of us together working and learning together our skills with each other, which is a really good thing. And I appreciate Anthony's effort on that for us, because it just makes us all better and better to serve our patients.
All right, well, thank you again for all your work that you're doing. I know it is a big problem. Actually, my sister has asthma, so thank you again. Hopefully she can get checked at the body box at URMC.
Yeah, right.
All right, any final comments?
I just want the community to know that this is both offered on an outpatient basis, so that you can be referred to the hospital and see our pulmonary doctor, and we also do it as an inpatient.
All right, thank you again so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, stay tuned. We'll have more health, home, and lifestyle after the break.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your 4th meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más.
Ruby Tuesday now gives you more for lunch. Endless trips to the Fresh Garden Bar, plus add-ons, mini combinations, and even new meal options. It's the new lunchtime menu, available Monday to Friday until 2 p.m., only at Ruby Tuesday.
Join the Guam Visitors Bureau along with the Pacific Asia Travel Association for the PATA Annual Summit May 18th to the 21st at the Dusitani Guam Resort. Meet visitor industry experts from around the world. Receive the latest industry trends and network to help your business grow. Seating is limited, so register today for your chance to participate in this world-class event. To register, visit pata.org or call GVB today